So I don't generally like to be negative on this channel. It happens sometimes, but you know, when a book just doesn't live up to the expectation or is just a objectively bad book, you gotta let it be known. So luckily, out of the 67 books that I read this year, I only have 5 on this list of worst slash most disappointing reads. So I guess that means that I didn't do too bad with the types of books that I'm picking up. I feel like every year that goes by, I get better and better of honing in on my reading taste. And this year is kind of showing that since I only have 5 on this list. So this should be a quick video. So grab a drink, as I always say. I have a Heineken here, and let's just get right into this Negative Nancy video. Hey y'all, welcome to, or welcome back to my channel, Scotty Cherie Reads. So let's just jump right in with number 5. These are ranked from, I would say, most disappointing to just downright worst written books, in my opinion. You know, we don't need to argue in the comments. Everybody, if you don't want to watch this negative video, you can just click off, you know. It's just my opinion here. So starting at number 5, we're going to talk about The Unworthy by Augustina Bastarrica. I wouldn't recommend this book for anyone to read. I think that Ostarina Bastarrica, I think that's how you say it, is a very, like, her writing is beautiful, I would say, but the plot of this book was just like non-existent. And coming from her debut, I think it was her debut, but the first one that I read, at least, was Tender as a Flesh, was one of my favorite books of the year that I read it, and still to this day, one of my favorite books. I suggest that to a lot of people. It's a well-beloved book, so I was very excited for this release this year. And I don't know how this little novella, it's under 200 pages, I'm sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, under 200 pages, left nothing to be remembered. Literally, I just remember that this was about a convent of women, and that's it. So I'm gonna read the flap for you. It says, from her cell in a mysterious convent, clustered away from the climate catastrophe that has plunged the world into chaos, a woman writes the story of her life in whatever she can find, discarded ink, dirt, and even her own blood. A lower member of the sacred sisterhood, deemed an unworthy, she dreams of ascending to the ranks of the enlightened at the center of the convent and of pleasing the forbidden superior sister. When a strange newcomer joins the ranks of the unworthy, the narrator is forced to consider her long-buried past. As she grows closer to the newcomer, she is increasingly haunted by questions that she can no longer ignore. How did she get to the sacred sisterhood? Why can't she remember her life beforehand? And what really happens when a woman is chosen to be enlightened? So yeah, it's kind of coming to, it's like they're in this convent. She doesn't really know why she's there. They have to please this like head sacred sister in order to become enlightened, whatever that means. And yeah, I don't remember much from this. I just remember I was bored, and literally I feel like when that last page flipped and I was finished, immediately it was wiped through my brain and I just kind of threw it to the side and never thought about it again. I'm sorry, that sounds so harsh, but yeah, it was not good. I'm gonna be unshelving this. Even though it's a short read, I say skip it. There wasn't much to talk about or even remember in this little book. I'm sorry. I probably will pick up something else by this author, but I'll definitely wait for reviews to come out before I just go out and buy it like brand new, like I did with this one, unfortunately. All right, coming in at number 4 is a book that I read very much at the beginning of the year. I did try a chapter tag for winter reads, and this is in that vlog, which I'll have linked above. So there's a lot of info and my in-depth thoughts as I was reading it in that vlog, so check that out if you're more intrigued in my thoughts. But that was No Exit by Taylor Adams. So the premise of this is a very popular thriller that came out a while ago. I think it came out in like 2017. And we follow Darby Thorne, who's a college student who's on her way to Utah to go see her like dying mother. And there's a blizzard that's happening, and she gets caught up with some other travelers as well who are on the highway going wherever at this remote highway rest stop. And when she kind of goes out to take a stroll in this blizzard, she realizes that in one of the cars, she can see like a child's hand, and the child is in like an animal cage. And she and the fellow travelers are trapped in this rest stop during this big blizzard, and she's just trying to figure out who's the kidnapper, what's going on? There's no cell service. What's going to happen? So this book, it was just, oh my goodness, like, it was just so unbelievable, and it just felt very cheap. It was just a cheap thriller. There was no substance. The plot wasn't believable. You didn't feel anything for the characters. I couldn't even tell you what happened because literally anything and everything that you thought could happen in this book did happen. Like, it was like, oh, here's a twist. And it's like, oh, just kidding. You think it's going to go there? It's going to go here. And here's information that you would have never known. I'm just going to drop this in just to add some shock value. It was just, yeah, it was not good. Even the back, it's just like 13 hours, 4 strangers, 1 missing child, no exit. She knows her odds. She'll fight anyway. I should have known from that blurb this was not going to be for me. I'm sorry. I feel like if you've never read before, you've never read a thriller, maybe this would do it for you, but this was just so damn elementary and just cheaply done that, yeah, nah, it was not it. Skip it. All right, taking number 3 for the worst books, because now we're kind of getting to like worst books where I just don't recommend this to anyone, and that is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. The writing in this was really terrible, and also the premise of this book seemed like it was going to be so scary, and I was just like laughing at this book. It was that ridiculous. And the premise of this is that there's this little girl named Bella, and it's told from a child's perspective, and she basically sees this other entity named Other Mommy, which doesn't that sound scary? Like, Bella's the only one who can see Other Mommy, and Other Mommy keeps asking if she can get into her heart. Sounds so fucking creepy. So I was very excited about this. I was like worried that I was going to be really creeped out about this, but I don't know if this is just because maybe I don't like books told from a child's perspective, because I haven't read many. The only other one that I read was, oh my gosh, what was it? It was about a kid where we didn't know if she was trying to kill the mom or not. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back to see what that book was called. One moment. Okay. So I guess I can't say that I don't like things told. Was this one told from a kid's perspective? Actually, I don't think that it was. Just kidding. But this is done way better in a psychological thriller about a child, and you don't really know if she's crazy, and the parents are kind of like, what the fuck is going on with this kid? Incidents Around the House was just terrible. It is told from a child's perspective. I don't know if that's like my issue, because the writing was obviously like very like elementary, but this shit was so boring. It was funny. I predicted the twist. Nothing was scary. It felt very cheap. And moments that were supposed to be very scary, I was literally just like laughing and being like, be so, and for real, honestly. Yeah. Just don't. And I don't know, because looking at Goodreads, I have it pulled up here because I rented it from the library. Thank God I didn't buy it. But there are a lot of like good reviews for this for people that I like really trust. But I just felt like it was so average, and the writing style was just terrible. I don't think I'll ever read anything else by Josh Malerman. So yeah, that's it for that. Don't recommend. Coming in at number 2 is probably my most disappointing read. I don't even say probably. It is my most disappointing read of the year. And that is Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I hate to talk about this book because this is the 3rd book in like a series, the Skyland series. And the first 2 books were 5-star reads for me. They're romance books. She got me into romance. And then this one came out and I grabbed it right away. And I really, really did not like it. I didn't like it and was so disappointed with it that I have a full rant review vlog that I'll have linked above that I go into massive detail. I think it's over an hour long about why this didn't work for me specifically. I feel so bad because I don't feel like I have a problem with Kennedy Ryan in general, and I will continue to read from her. But this one just, yeah, it did not work for me whatsoever. I'm not going to get into details too much here because I have a whole vlog linked above. But yeah, unfortunately, this is literally number 2 of my worst, most disappointing reads. Just skip this one and read Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us by Them. And I'm planning on reading Real in that series this year just to give Kennedy Ryan a chance. It's been a bit of time since this one, so I need to give my girl another shot. But yeah, this was not it for me at all. Okay, and we are at my worst read of the year, and I feel so bad about this being number one because it is a nonfiction read and it's a memoir at that. Ugh, it's Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen. Let me start by saying I don't want to say anything about her experience because I'm sure her experience in this psychiatric establishment was a lot. I just think that this book I think the hype was just too real for me. And I really feel like my problem is that the movie is actually pretty good. I watched the movie and I really like the movie. So I think that maybe some of the love for the movie has been thrown onto the book. When I say skip reading this and just watch the movie, even though they're kind of different, it's just more entertaining. I don't know, that sounds really bad, but that's how I feel. So this is her memoir of in 1967. She goes to a psychiatrist she's never been before. She's 18, and right away they put her in a taxi and they send her to McLean Hospital, which is a psychiatric hospital. You know, she spends 2 years there. And she talks about her experience. This is a very famous hospital where it says like Sylvia Plath, James Taylor, Ray Charles have all been there. And I think that this book just didn't go deep enough with her experiences at all. It gave very insanely privileged white woman energy, unfortunately. Not saying that they can't have their issues and have psychological issues as well, but it just wasn't relatable for me at all. Yeah, I feel like that's all I want to say because I don't want to dive into this too deeply because it is just her story and there's truth to that, but it just didn't go nearly as deep. I wasn't moved by this. Yeah, I say skip it, just watch the movie. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry to her. All right, y'all, that was a very quick video. I was trying to make it pretty quick, because as you can tell, the sun's going down, but we did it. Those are the 5 books that I really do not recommend. The worst books, most disappointing that I've read this year. Please let me know what your worst book is from 2025 in the comments below. As always, if you like what you saw here, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And we'll chat in the comments until my next upload. Talk soon. Bye.